to the writing at the top, free DK as well as free slug. I don't know how that is, I just don't understand how that's relevant. If it's showing association, they stick together, there's hundreds of photographs that show that, and the jurors have heard from these witnesses, so I'm objecting to the entirety, but if this honorable court admits any of it, I would object to the writing.
All right, so I think that's a relevance and cumulative.
And 403, yes, prejudicial also.
And prejudicial.
So this is taken, posted rather, July 23rd, 2015. It is Mr. Zachary putting a green snake emoji, I think he called it a bird, on the stand when I asked him about a snake earlier. Free DK and free slug. DK being Walter Murphy, slug being Trontavious Stevens, both of which the jury has heard from and in various forms, well, they've heard from. So we have not shown this photograph, this date, and the assertion to free DK and free slug. This is something that will be seen throughout social media on various sites like Free Roscoe, Free This, Free That, members of YSL. So we don't believe that it should be excluded.
Overruled. Why?
Your Honor, I don't know. I see Mr. Sledge. I don't know who the other individual is. It's not my client, but to the extent that
It's character.
it's character, and it says, I keep a bunch of killers around me when I move.
I object to
So-
character as well.
It's bad character evidence, it's prejudicial, and it's also, again, an out-of-court statement by Mr. Zachary, I'm guessing, as he's the owner of this Instagram account, and we're not going to have an opportunity to cross-examine him about his words here.
Your Honor, it's an assertion. Whether he actually keeps a bunch of killers around him when he moves, nobody knows. But the fact that he wants people to think he keeps a bunch of killers around him when he moves corroborates information that he gave to the police when he gave this interview.
And who is in this picture?
I believe that may be Mr. Sledge, but I believe that may be Mr. Sledge.
Yeah.
And he said that he says in the interview, Mr. Sledge was a shooter, Moulton was a shooter, and prior to, and Copeland took his place, Woody took his place. So him asserting this, we believe furthers the interests of YSL, asserting dominance, instilling fear in social media postings, as count 1 in the indictment alleges. We believe that this is an overt act on the part of an unindicted co-conspirator that should be admitted as evidence.
It would be uncharged. It would be barred by statute of limitations. It's not an overt act in the sense of, the jury can rely on this to further the conspiracy. And I just look at it like, without without giving context from the witness saying, oh yeah, that is the killer who confessed to me and that's why I wrote this. This is like out of order. It should have come in my opinion, with the witness there, and if they're interested in his words. So I will object to that as well.
All right, well, it's not a defendant on trial here. So in terms of bad character, that's not, bad character of somebody else, if it even is that.
It is a person on trial.
Mr. Sledge?
Mr. Sledge.
That's not Mrs. Sledge. I don't believe that's Mr. Were you told that's Mr. Sledge?
I thought, isn't that what you said?
What I said was I believe that it is. I did not say that I had been told. I think someone earlier said it as well.
The person in the white shirt is not Mr. Sledge. That person, to my belief, is a person in your courtroom.
The only face that's shown is the one that we're talking about next to the television.
Let
And
me clear
it
this
is,
up
and
since I'm the one that said it. Mr. Sledge is clearly the person wearing a black shirt.
Right.
We're all on the same page with that. There's also a gentleman wearing a white shirt with his back to the
Right.
camera.
Uh-huh.
I believe what Mr. Steele is saying, and I agree that it is one of the people that's sitting here in this courtroom, and it does affect. It is prejudicial towards them, and they won't have the opportunity to cross-examine. It's not Mr. Stillwell. Let me be clear.
Okay, I guess it's going to be a mystery as to who it actually is.
only face,
I'm not sure who that is, Your Honor.
Although, Mr.
But
White,
on the
yeah,
on
I
the
mean,
off chance
uh-huh.
that would be my client, and I can't, honestly I cannot tell that that's my client, but people may think it's my client, and on that off chance, then the bad character evidence is an issue.
Okay.
On top of which, Your Honor, they're playing Grand Theft Auto, as far as I can tell. I know.
Gives y'all a really good argument.
Well, but still, it's misleading. It's more prejudicial than it is probative. They're sitting here playing Grand
I'm
Theft
sure
Auto.
it's
Of
more
course, they're
prejudicial than
surrounded.
it is probative.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, Your
I
Honor.
said I'm not sure that's actually true.
A bunch of people playing Grand Theft Auto and throwing up Grand Theft Auto language, and then the jury's going to see that and assume they're talking about real life killers versus what the video game they're playing.
What the jury is going to assume, and it'll be up to all of the different parties to
When you make the decision,
see what
others-
they can do to convince the jury, but I do not believe that this is more prejudicial than probative.
well, when you make that decision, you're making a decision as to what you think the jury's going to believe.
No, I'm not. I have no idea what the jury is going to believe. I am assessing the probative value of the evidence against its danger of substantially undue prejudice and coming to the determination that it is not substantially more prejudicial than it is probative.
And I understand your ruling on the 403 balancing, Your Honor, but I think part of your reasoning, which I get, is that it's our job as attorneys to get the full story to the jurors, and Mr. Weinstein can establish it's Grand Theft Auto. But the fact remains, we really can't, because this gentleman has already testified.
Well, I don't know that.
Right.
In terms of it being Grand Theft Auto, it's obvious to anybody who's ever seen Grand Theft Auto before. So you can probably get somebody else to testify that that's Grand Theft Auto. And I doubt if this witness is going to be able to identify the person in the white shirt anyway. So, in over objection.
And tomorrow, if you hear
thank you, Your Honor.
Gaither say that Mr. Kendrick was back to us, then would you reconsider striking?
Judge, I will instruct her, even if she can see
Okay.
around his head in this picture and know who it is, do not mention Diamante Kendrick.
Yo, hit that like for deal with Christian. Yo, for deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian. For deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian.